Alright, let me tell you about the worst experience I had as a babysitter. Now, I know what you're thinking, how bad could it really be, right? Well, picture this, two twin boys and a toddler girl who's just starting potty training. When the parents drop them off, the kids are all smiles, everything seems perfectly fine. But let me tell you, it was a disaster waiting to happen. So, the moment the parents left, it was like the kids switched to a different mode. The boys were practically bouncing off the walls, running around the house, shouting and whooping like they were at a circus. I tried to keep them calm by suggesting we build something with Legos. You know, the usual strategy to get them to focus on something other than the chaos in their heads. But, of course, that didn't last long. Meanwhile, I had to deal with the little girl. She was sitting on her potty, trying her best to go, but having no luck. Of course, just as I'm trying to calm her down, I hear the boys screaming at the top of their lungs. Naturally, I leave the girl alone, big mistake, and rush to see what's going on. I walk into the boys' room, and one of them is standing on the bed, urinating at the other like it's some sort of competition. And, of course, the pee is everywhere, on the walls, on the carpet, on the bed, and somehow, all over them. I'm standing there thinking, this is not happening. I tell them, change your clothes and strip, now. But they're just laughing and running around, making it a game. Meanwhile, the little girl, who's now completely naked, drags her potty into the kitchen, singing at the top of her lungs about how she pooped. She wants me to come look, because, you know, every toddler's dream is for someone to check out their poop. At this point, I'm on the verge of losing it. But wait, it gets better. One of the boys runs through the kitchen, accidentally knocks over the potty, and, yup, you can guess where this is going. Poop and pee everywhere. I honestly wanted to cry, but I managed to hold it together. I cleaned up what I could, but let me tell you, it was tough when it's not even your house and you have no idea where the cleaning supplies are. When the parents finally came home, they didn't apologize for the mess or the chaos, and of course, no extra tip for my efforts. It was the first and last time I ever babysat for those parents. And, you know what? I'm proud of my 17-year-old self for not quitting on the spot. It was just pee and poop, no big deal, right? But honestly, it was a lesson in patience, and a reminder that some people really shouldn't have kids. Now, after that, I thought I'd learn my lesson, but no! The universe had more in store for me. I get called by another family. They had 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. I figured, how bad can it be? Spoiler alert, bad. The boys were absolute terrors. One of them decided to pee right in the middle of the living room. He's potty trained, mind you, so this was totally a choice. I freaked out, cleaned it up, and sent him to his room. The other boy followed, and they both locked themselves in their room, turning it into some kind of fortress. Meanwhile, the little girl, unbeknownst to me, had made a huge mess downstairs, and I had to find her before things got even worse. By the time the parents got home, I was practically in tears, and guess what? They apologized, but only because they had to. They were hoping I'd come back, but no. No way in hell. Being a babysitter definitely has its moments. Sometimes, I'm the superhero, but more often than not, I'm just the cleanup crew, trying to keep my sanity intact. Would I do it again? Maybe, if I get paid in advance. As the evening went on, things were going smoothly, or so I thought. The 7-year-old was playing nicely with his cousin, and I was relieved to be having a calm night for once. That peace didn't last long. Soon, he got it in his head that he didn't need to listen to anything I said. He kept running to the fridge and taking out whatever he wanted. When I asked him to put it back, he told me he didn't have to listen to me, that only his parents could tell him what to do. Then, his cousin joined in on the rebellion. They both started grabbing snacks, juice boxes, and anything they could get their hands on, eating and spilling them all over the kitchen. I managed to corral them back into the living room, but they decided it was more fun to start a wrestling match. I reminded them both that roughhousing was a bad idea, but they just laughed and kept at it. Then the 7-year-old, determined to test every boundary, got up, grabbed a stack of his dad's books, and just dropped them one by one, letting them hit the floor with a loud thud. I told him he would be in serious trouble if his parents found out, but he just laughed, saying, "They won't care. They love me." At that point, his cousin knocked over a lamp trying to dodge him, which hit the floor with a loud crash. I was ready to call the parents, but they weren't answering. I ended up just trying to survive the rest of the evening by distracting them with a movie until they finally both fell asleep on the couch. When the parents finally returned late at night, I tried to explain what happened. But instead of getting any sympathy, they just shrugged it off, paid me the bare minimum, and walked me out, saying, "Kids will be kids."